Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. Today we're going to be talking about how I took the E30 from looking like this with these pinstripes to, somewhat from a 4 to a 6 on the sexy paint scale. I had a buddy, Brian, and he told me that he noticed these pinstripes, and then now it drove me crazy because the car was missing some of those. But I got the pinstripes removed, got the paint looking a lot better in my opinion, and learned a lot along the way. So I want to pass those things on and show you guys some of the progress I've made on this E30. So yeah, let's get into it. Looking glossy. This side, not so much. I'm gonna try to see if we can maybe just use like a wax wheel and get these pinstripes out, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to save these pinstripes. I don't know. I might have to find somebody that can do pinstriping. But here she is. Ignore that ugly window. We'll get to that later. See what this side has no pinstripes until you get to this door. So either body panels were switched out or this is all just faded and damaged. So I'm hoping that I can pinstripe and wire wheel that out and just take it all off. No more pinstriping. Let's just call it good. But we're going to go ahead and just clean this up. I'm going to see if a clay bar will get these spots out. I don't know what exactly caused that. You guys might know that do detailing and things like that. On the inside, we're just going to do a good little vacuum, do all that stuff, get it set up. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm the worst about cleaning cars.
This isn't easy for me.
Fun and new for me. So the first thing, just go ahead and get it wet. Just spray her down. As I'm putting the top down, I realize just how bad it is down in here. So all this will end up having to get detailed at some point. Clean it all out, spiffy it up. I'm gonna give it a quick wipe down right now so you guys see the before and after. Not perfect, but better. And that's all we're going for today. It's just but better. So let's clean that out.
No! Okay, just one time.
Abracadabra, clean. Right. Not bad, not bad. Clearly got to shampoo that and clean that up just a little bit more. And yeah, now let's do this back seat area. Not too bad. Stink bug down there. Couple stink bugs down there. Gotta figure out where this armrest mounts to, because I see 2 screw holes there. I'm assuming there's 2 more on the other side, so I gotta figure out where that goes. Alright, so the trunk, same deal. We're just gonna go ahead and vacuum this all up, get some of this trash thrown out. I did notice something though. I noticed that there's a little bit of water right here, so I'm assuming that somewhere on my 3rd brake light there's water coming in. So looking at it now, it's got a little bit of play in it, and so I'm wondering if these little seals right there are bad. So I'm gonna add that to the list of places that it's leaking. Enjoy. So this is before and clean. And just like that, trunk is mostly done. Clearly a lot of this carpet needs to be placed back where it belongs and then given a good thorough cleaning. But for now, we're just getting this thing back to a decent ground. Same thing on the other side. Before, ignore the wires. Before, not too bad under there actually, but let's go ahead and get that cleaned up too. There we go. Got this cleaned up. Throw that back in place. Got this nice and clean too. Ignore my erratic carpet lines. I'm a little different when it comes to that stuff. But now I'm just gonna give it a quick little wipe down on the interior and call it good. So if anybody's watching this, I'm going to start off with all the things that I did wrong. The first thing is I had my drill moving too fast. This is a slow and steady process if your goal is to protect the paint. If you don't care about the paint like I kind of did after doing this for about a couple hours, I started doing this on really fast and just kept it moving, thinking that would be enough to prevent any damage. Little did I know, I was completely wrong. So I'm telling you guys the importance of patience, patience, patience. Slow and steady wins the race. And on top of that, just keep this thing rotating really slow. The slower the better, honestly, is what I've been told. And as you can see from this clip, it is working. I mean, you're going to have success regardless of which approach you take. However, one is going to definitely damage the paint. You can start to see some of the yellowing, which I didn't realize as I was doing it. And when you start staring at something long enough, you don't realize how much it's changing because you're seeing the immediate transition. But looking back at all the footage, taking a break for a day, and coming back to it the next day, I realized how quickly this thing started to yellow. This has been about 30 minutes worth of work. I am worried that this is starting to yellow a little bit, so as much as I'm trying to keep this moving, I'm wondering if the paint is still getting too hot, because unfortunately this paint is really old, so we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, this is probably 90% chance this is getting wrapped, so we'll see what it looks like once I'm done. Alright, so we're at 1 hour. This is a pain. This is starting to go. Pain, 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 pain. So we're getting there, but I might have just killed this paint. And one thing I did learn is that low speed works best with that wheel. This side's looking a lot better, not as much yellowing, if at all. But on the other side, unfortunately, I went a little crazy. So I got a lot of yellowing. You guys probably can see it on the camera. I'm gonna try to clean this up eventually. All right, so this is as far as I got for tonight. I'm getting eaten up by skeeters. Yep, mosquitoes. And yeah, that red line is turning out to be a real pain in the ass. But everything else is coming along as it should. This side, not much better, but getting there. This part is really easy to get to. I don't know what's going on here. If it's just the angles that I need to, hit differently. But it's moving and grooving. Slow and steady definitely is the way to go. And this side looks a lot better, a lot less yellowing, but it also could be that this is a newer door, and the rest of that side might be old doors and old paint. So, lesson learned to make sure that slow and steady, and you keep yourself moving. But it looks worse than it is, I swear. I'm going to try to clean that up tomorrow and finish this up. I thought maybe it was the wire wheel because I went with a cheap Amazon brand, and the 3M version was about $50 or something along those lines, whereas the Amazon one was only about $15, I want to say. But either way, I tried to do something different and kind of do my own little test to see which one's better, and sadly, the Amazon one worked better. I didn't have really good success with the 3M, but again, maybe it was because I was spinning the wheel too fast. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it made zero difference. I don't know what is up with these pinstripes, but these are the worst things that I've ever tried to get off of a car. Struggle continues, and I wish that I didn't just spend $58 on this 3M bull. It doesn't work on vinyl pinstripes that have been sitting on a car for 30-something years. I don't know what to do. I want to cry. I'm upset. I've filmed so many clips, I've mushed it all together for a part 2 episode of the E30 project. And so I'm going to give you guys a little walk around. Oh, I got something nice. Check this out. Antique Florida plates. Oh, these are going to look so good on there. So I'm going to throw this on, and then we'll talk about some of the other things. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys my attempt to fix this paint, which I'm going to spoil that for you guys. I effed it up. Bad. Real bad. And part 3 we'll get to trying to fix this. But anyways, messed that all up. I should never be left in charge of anything paint, detailing at all. But we'll see if I can get better at these skills. Alright, that'll do for now. But damn, that looks good. A lot better than the paper temp tag. And this is the current condition. As you can see, lots of blemishes from the eraser wheel. Started off good, got impatient, and then I'll show you guys on the other side as well. This side only had it on the door, so it's not that bad, and all of it didn't really come out, but I'm gonna try my best to see if I can erase this last little piece eventually. but I've still yet to figure out what I'm gonna do on this hood. So I'm thinking, take some pictures, get a quote from a shop, see what it takes to kind of clean this up a little bit. Same with these side mirrors. So now we're moving on to my attempt to fix the paint damages that I've kind of caused with the clear coat mostly, and maybe a little bit further than that, but we won't talk about all of that right now. Either way, 1000 grit, 1500 grit, just kind of wet sanding this to take off a little bit of that yellowing, and it actually did a pretty good job. So I'm using just a quick detailer spray, and probably soapy water would have been the better thing to use, but either way, just trying to do something to get that yellow haze out of the clear coat, and it seemed to have done the trick. As you guys can see, I got most of the yellowing out just using 1000 grit. So I'm going to come back over this and I'm going to wet sand again with the 1500 grit and see if I can get this last little patch out. But really the only damage I did was really right here. Other than that, everything looks decent. So unfortunately this side right here is faded and I did a little bit of damage, so that's going to need touch up all along the side of this, but honestly it gets rid of the pinstripe and it's just got a little bit of patina. It is what it is until we get everything looking good at the end of the day. Not only did I just lay in a puddle of water, so you guys are going to see like 3 different shirt changes through this episode, but as is no warranty available on the website, link in bio, all that good stuff. But anyways, on to the next thing. Why did I decide to buy an E30? Why? All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a clay bar on the whole car now that I've gotten some of the yellowing. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I know the top is still down because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the best I can without getting the interior all soaked. So soapy water, clay bar, and that's that. But I've got my clay bar here. This is the Meguiar's clay bar, so use whatever you want. But essentially all I'm going to do is just take this. We're just going to go up and down and just try to clay bar as much of the car as I can and see what happens. Hood is done, windshield's done, and the frame all done. I did a little bit of this grill, all done. So now I just need to do this side and then the trunk, and it'll be all clay barred. All right, just about an hour later, and I'm all done. I skipped some spots, I won't lie. I'm not a professional detailer by any means, but my goal is just to see if I can bring this paint back to somewhat of a decent life. You can kind of see it a little bit, but man, that does look a lot better. It's easy when you notice like the yellowing and the discoloration, but the clay bar has done a good job of taking out a lot of that. And so I feel like I have a pretty good canvas now to go ahead and back this in the garage and start getting this polishing done. So I'm not a professional detailer or anything, so I'm going to be just using Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. Come on, focus, focus, focus. This, and then on Amazon, I picked up this cheap little buffer, and I'm just going to use this. So put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, or however many dots, and we're just going to do one little area, and then just get to it. I'm not going to give you any of my instructions because I'm not a professional, so if I do this wrong, I don't want you guys to. And of course, microfiber towel to wipe everything up. But yeah, let's get to it. And then just do some research to figure out what pads are the ones that you need for what you're doing. For mine, I'm just going to do the fine pad with very minor corrections. So just doing this little area. And we're just going to start off on 3. And I'm just going to spread this around. And I'm just gonna do that same thing and do about 4 or 5 passes. Don't be like me. I got this all over me. Lesson learned. Anyways, you guys can kind of see it a little bit there. We'll just wipe this up. Again, I'm not a pro, but you guys can see kind of how different that looks. And granted, I probably could have cleaned the car a little bit better, but look at that shine. Ooh, did you guys see that reflection? So I'm just gonna finish up the hood and be right back. All right, I just want to show you guys a little progress. So this right side is the side that's done, looking glossy. This side, not so much. So you guys can kind of see as I transition. Ignore that spot. I'll do it up here so you can ignore that. I just remembered to shake this thing up. Oops. Alright, it's coming together nicely. You guys can already see the difference. But, ooh. Sorry, the lighting's not the best. Alright, so as I'm learning, I'm realizing that this is drying out before I even finish that area. So I'm going to do either a smaller area, or I've just got to do a better job of priming this pad. Never thought I'd say that. But I've got to do a better job of that. So I'm going to try my best this next pass to see if I can avoid that. You guys can see it's kind of like a haze. So I'm not doing a good job of either getting my pad the right way or doing something wrong. So I'm still trying to figure out and learn a little bit. So I'm gonna keep redoing this one area, see if I can fix it. All right guys, so I went ahead, finished the compound, and then I hit it with a little bit of wax. Unfortunately, I still haven't figured out why my pads are looking ugly, but ooh, so much better. You guys can see the old and the new. Some of this dried up compound, I gotta figure out how to get that off, but just look at it. So much better. It's actually got a little bit of shine to it. It's gonna be nice to just do a little cleaner at the end of all of this and really make it pop. Some of these weird little spots you can't use the buffer in. Ignore the cord on the car. I know that's gonna upset some people, but I'm gonna try this little spot right here and just see if we can get this little part of the door looking good again. And then that'll be it for the video. Done up to that little trim. So I got this corner done. And then we just gotta move that way. But it's already looking shiny. Let me get the light over here. You guys can kind of see. Of course, I definitely could have gotten the whole car a lot cleaner. So, lesson learned. Hopefully I don't do any more damage. In hindsight, I probably should have taken this off, cleaned behind it, and then put those back on. So I know that some of you are watching this and being like, LJ, come on, man, like it's right there. I know now. And the other thing is, once I pull that off, I'm gonna clean that up and just bring these back to life as well. Because luckily the clips are still intact, they look good, and I do have some rubber polish that I'm gonna use to kind of bring this back to life. And then that should be good. Still got to figure out that bottom rocker panel area and see what that needs. But I'm pretty happy with the results so far. You guys can kind of see it right there, but man, that is shiny. And that's what I was hoping for. Once I take it out the garage and show you guys what everything looks like, I think it's really gonna pop. And I wish I had a really good before to show you guys what it looked like. And I wish I had better garage lighting. So that's another thing that I gotta do. But I still also need ceilings. I want to give you guys like a full cinematic and everything of, you know, showing you all the highlights of the car now that it's out of the garage. And there's a couple spots I miss, like around the windshield I haven't done. But overall, man, night and day difference already. It looks like it's been loved and cared for. This is the worst side, so I'll show you guys the worst side first. And as I mentioned on this side, I wish that I had done a little bit better job of cleaning. But look at that shine. You guys can kind of see it. Ooh, look at that. And this thing is shiny, shiny, shiny. And I haven't even finished cleaning everything else, but this is just enough to get this paint started. This all started because of this pinstripe, which, if you guys look, you can kind of still see the pinstripe. So this whole thing just needs a nice little touch-up paint, and I think it'll be good. The next plan is to remove all this molding. We're gonna repaint it, clean it all up. That'll get back on the car once I do some mechanical stuff, but for my first attempt at detailing, I think I did all right. I'd give this like a 6 out of 10 and save myself the $300 to do it again. But eventually, I'm sure I'll give this to someone to do a real quality detail. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what I missed. But man, ooh, jeez, I think it's glossy. But now for real, that's all I got for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one as we continue the E30 build. Peace.